I'm Cindy. I am retired, so I'm no longer working. I have a couple of kids. I got 6 grandkids. My dad's still alive. He's going to be 88. I have a couple of dogs that keep me as companions. I'm in remission now from the diffuse large B-cell cancer. So I was diagnosed April 8th. But a couple weeks before that, maybe a month before that, my skin started to get really itchy. And the palms of my hands, the soles of my feet. And I just thought, well, maybe it's just dry skin because it was still winter. So I ignored it because I was in extremely good health and I don't get sick. Never got sick. And then my skin started turning yellow a couple weeks later. And I made an appointment with my primary care, but it was far out to get a blood test. I was a little sluggish, a little tired, wasn't sure why. Just thought maybe I was working too hard. And I kind of ignored those, and I told myself, well, if my eyes turn yellow, I'll go in. And they turned yellow. And then I thought, well, there's something wrong. So I took myself to the ER. Called my kids, let them know. My daughter came and joined me. They did blood tests, they did CAT scans, and they came up with this horrible diagnosis that I was going to die from some type of rare type of cancer, which they didn't even know what it was. And they called a GI specialist in. He came in and he did endoscopy. And that's when they determined I needed to do surgery immediately because my bile duct was completely blocked. They asked me for a urine sample. I went into the restroom to do that, and the urine was red. So it wouldn't have been much longer and I would have been dead, I think, the next couple of days. I don't know. I didn't know anybody in my family when I got diagnosed with what it exactly was. There was one tumor around the bile duct and one in the liver hiding. So it was all surreal, or a win world, because like I said, I'd been extremely healthy. Didn't get colds, didn't get flus, didn't get anything. It's kind of a shock to your system when you go through it. And that was just the beginning. After they put the bile stent in the next day, then I started to get color back. And then they scheduled me for an oncology appointment. And I went and saw the oncologist, and he was very real. He said, I can cure this hopefully in 6 to 8 treatments. And he asked, was there anything, and did I have any questions? And my daughter, poor thing, she was crying her eyes out. And he said, I can cure this in 6 to 8. And I said, okay. And I felt bad for my daughter, not me, because I thought, well, what I heard was I can be cured. What she heard is a death sentence, I think, because she heard chemo. The one question my daughter did ask is if she doesn't do chemo, how long will she last? And he said, she'll be dead by July. It was that aggressive. And I didn't know. And I've always was against chemo, but when you're in that position, you change your mind real quick. If that's what's going to save my life and kill a lot of cells, and so it be. It is what it is. It's just been an interesting journey, to say the least. Getting that sick. And honestly, even when I got out of the hospital with ICU, I never really thought I was that sick. It wasn't until maybe 6 months later it really sunk in. Even when I had to learn how to walk and talk and all that, I thought, well, this is just normal. That's what happens. But it's not normal. And those were challenges that I had to go through. But I stayed positive. I didn't question it. I did what I was told. The way I looked at it, I'll be okay by Christmas. I'll be able to be with my family by Christmas. And really, that was my goal, and that's what I cared about. And I think that's kind of mostly what got me through everything. I didn't have time. I didn't realize I was that sick. It was go to the ER, get the surgery, get out, go get blood work, go see the oncologist, start treatments the following week. Let's get this going. I do the treatment. I had no white cells. And even the little thing they gave me to put on my stomach did not work. So I ended up in the hospital for that for, I think, the 5th through the 12th of May. Got out. I was tested positive for COVID. My lungs were acting up, but they still sent me home, only to go back 3 days later and stay there till June 12th, and then be intubated in between that time because the COVID was so bad. And all you do is sleep. I think if I never had chemo, I could have been okay with COVID had I gotten it. But being in my mind that I never got sick, this is new to me. So I didn't know I was that sick. So to me, I was just rolling with the punches. I slept all the time. That was all I could do. I had no energy. My lung capacity was going way down. And then even that didn't concern me. I was on oxygen, but it didn't concern me. I thought, well, I'll snap out of this sooner or later. Even when they came in and said we need to do a white count transfusion, and then we need to do a red count transfusion. Okay, fine. Hook me up because I'm just going to fall asleep. And that's what I did. And then none of these things were working. On my daughter's 40th birthday, May 28th, they woke me up and they said, we need to intubate you. And as far as I was concerned, it was sign the document. We just need to give your lungs a break. And to me, it was like, okay, that's all it has to be. And I could barely talk. It was that week. And I was trying to talk to my daughter because she had planned a trip to Mexico. And I kept trying to tell her, go on your trip. There is nothing you can do for me. And she was so emotional. I don't think she could really hear what I was saying. And next thing I know, I'm intubated. I do remember waking up and being tied. Apparently, I tried to pull it out. I don't remember. You don't remember a lot. I call it hallucinating. They give you the drugs that just things that I remember are kind of crazy. And I do believe in one of those times I was going to die, because I say this because one of the hallucinations is I saw, it's like my body floated to the stars, past the stars, to the universe, and I could see going around the world. So I saw people from Saudi Arabia praying. I saw people, the Catholics, all of my friends and relatives that were Catholics praying with the candles. My other cousins that were in congregations, 2 different type of congregations. My kids' dad, who was Native American, was doing a ceremony in a teepee. All these people that were praying, and I begged for my life that night. And I woke up, and the sun was out, and I was so grateful. The first thing when I could talk is I asked my daughter, did your dad do a ceremony for me? And she goes, how'd you know? I said, because I saw it. And I asked my 2 cousins with the congregation, were you guys praying for me to congregate each one of your congregations? They said, yes. And the one that stumped me was Saudi Arabia. I thought, who is praying that? I don't know anybody there. So I was telling my father about it. And he said, well, his wife, his daughter, married Saudi Arabian, and they lived there, and they told them, and their whole congregation was praying. That's what I saw. So I was, like I said, that's a little overwhelming to have that, people give you that kind of power. It's an ordeal to be on a breathing tube. You have nobody to wipe your saliva. It goes down the back of your neck. Your nose runs, nobody cleans it. Your lips are severely chapped. They do bathe you. They do, thank God for the port, because that is how they fed me. That I remember. But seeing those types of spiritual things really woke me up to that kind of stuff. To be things I took for granted that I had, and we all do it. Every single one of us takes for granted. Breathing, walking, talking, swallowing, all the things I had to relearn. But it was determination and staying positive. I mean, the nurses loved my bald head. They'd come by and rub it all the time. They tried to get me off the ventilator. I didn't get off. I panicked, I guess. I don't remember. And then they put me on a Zoom video with my daughter. And all I could hear, because they put the phone on my chest, is you breathe the same air that we breathe, Mom. They're going to take you out tomorrow. Take deep breaths. You're going to be fine. Of course, I couldn't talk. The next day, they said, we're going to take you off. And they were talking to me and saying, honestly, the worst things is the stickers on your face to hold the breathing tube. That's the worst. Getting back to the oncologist, I was determined to get off the walker and walk into the oncologist's office with no cane, nothing. And I did do that. And he was so incredibly happy to see me. He kept saying, so good to see you, my friend. So good to see you. I watch your chart every day. He said, hoping you weren't going to die. And he says, when do you want to start chemo? And I looked at my daughter and I'm like, why is he asking me that? And she says, do you not have anybody like my mom? And he said, no, they all died. And I thought, wow. I said, I want to get on with it as soon as possible because I want to get on with my life. Let's do it. Because you're not too weak. I said, I don't care. I've been weak for a long time. Let's do it. And we started to roll because him being so concerned that the cancer was so aggressive kind of scared me a little. And I kind of figured I already went through the worst. That's the worst of what I've been through. Plus trying to get my strength back.
Happy Mother's Day, Grandma Cindy. I hope you feel better. Love you.
Bastian, besito.
I love you, Grandma Cindy. You feel better. I love you. Mwah.
Happy Mother's Day, Grandma Cindy. I miss you. I hope you get better soon so I can give you a hug. Okay, bye. Happy Mother's Day, Grandma. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. We love you.
I'm grateful to my children for being here and taking care of me, cooking my food, helping me. Because you lose so much strength and muscle that you think you can get up and cook. You can't. And taking a shower is horrendous. It's an energy sucker. So all these things I had to learn a little at a time. And so I did my chemo, did my blood work. Like I said, it's been an interesting journey being locked. I call it shut in because still COVID was really bad. I had no immune system. I didn't dare go to a store. I didn't go anywhere out the house except to the doctor visits or blood work. So I was very cautious. I never want to be that sick again. And so I'm kind of right back, not grocery shopping, picking it up. Trying to be really cautious again because being that they said I had a double pneumonia and a super pneumonia from COVID. So my lungs are scarred, they're hardened, they're mild. But can I take another pneumonia? I don't know. And I don't want to find out. I mean, intubation is a host. I mean, in my head, when they said intubated, my mother was very sick when I was a child. She had heart disease. She was intubated several times. So we saw that. And she came out of it every single time. So to me, when he said, we're going to intubate you, it didn't scare me. I thought, okay, I'll be fine. My kids couldn't understand that. And when I explained it to them, your mindset is you hear all these people dying from COVID and intubation, but in my mind, I'm going to come out of it. I'm going to be okay somehow. But when I felt myself slipping, did I pray? All that came back to me. Am I real religious? No. More spiritual. But I was asking the universe, God, anybody, just let me live. I'll figure it out from there.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
The tumors are starting to shrink very fast. I think they were almost gone on the fourth treatment, but he wanted to do 2 more to make sure. And right now, their only concern now is that I've got a small lesion on my liver. They don't know what it is. It's staying steady, but it's still there. Some of my blood work for the liver counts are still kind of high. We don't know why. And they could be that the liver's sort of damaged, probably from the chemo. I don't know how long that takes to recover. He may want to do a liver biopsy if it shows up again. in 6 months. It might just be scar tissue, but without them looking at it, I don't know. I mean, so now I have chronic neuropathy. I have chronic low back pain, and I don't know what to contribute that to other than being in the hospital so long and staying in the same positions, and then shortage of nurses to turn you when you're in ICU. I mean, that's all very realistic. So those are the things I'm dealing with now. The last chemo, I have to say, kicked my butt. That left me weak for weeks. I think being positive is the key to anything, regardless of what you do in life. Even though I got this, like I said before, I never said, why me? Because why not me? And that's kind of how I look at life. Why not? Why not me? Just want people to be positive and know that you're not alone. And it's unfortunate, but you'll get through it. There's no reason not to. And the other thing that runs through my mind, had they told me, well, they did tell me I was going to die. That's what they said. I had a rare cancer in the ER. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not, because you're just a human being with studies, but you don't know me. So in my head, I'm not going to die. And I don't care what kind of cancer you say I have. It's not going to happen. So it's about being positive and knowing yourself. And I'm pretty stubborn. I'm alive. I'm kicking. My grandkids are happy. My dogs are happy. I mean, I appreciate life all the way around. I get so excited to see a full moon or the leaves change. I appreciate life.